This is 31 Minecraft parity issues that Mojang has been ignoring for years. There's tons of features that work one way on Bedrock Edition but are completely different on Java or are just missing entirely from one version. I've been playing Bedrock for 8 years and recently got invited to play Java on the Minecraft SMP server, where I've noticed almost 70 differences between the two games. So subscribe so you don't miss part 2, and let's jump into it. Java has a feature that makes the game basically easy mode, especially if you're playing on hardcore. On Bedrock Edition, you regenerate health like 2.5 times slower than Java. If you fall from 22.9 blocks, you'll take 9.5 hearts of damage, and it takes 1 minute and 16 seconds to regenerate that health on Bedrock, but only 30 seconds on Java. So if you're looking for a legitimate hardcore experience, go play Bedrock Edition. This might seem like a little bit of a nitpick, but on Java, boats have about 4 health, so you can one-hit kill them with basically any tool or weapon. And I don't know if you've ever played Survival Minecraft before, but like, you're gonna be using boats. On Bedrock Edition, there's a bug where they have 40 health, which is 20 hearts. They have twice as much health as the player does. Look at this. You have to hit these things 1 billion times. It's even worse if you like try to punch it by hand. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Keep looking at it. It's so bad. You would think this is like a recent problem. No, it's been on the bug tracker for 5 years. While we're talking about boats, this is actually such a cool thing. If you have a boat, even with a mob inside of it, you can just legitimately boat through a nether portal. This is actually way faster than just going through the nether portal normally, because you don't need to wait for the loading screen. On Bedrock Edition, you have to break the boat, get the mob out of the boat, push it into the portal, and then get it back into a boat on the other side. On the topic of the nether on Bedrock Edition is actually so much nicer. So if we just pop underneath the lava lakes here, you can see that it basically just goes all the way down to bedrock, and all of the lava stops at around about Y20-ish. You're not really going to see any lava lakes underneath there. This means that you can do tunnel boring and ancient debris mining, or you can even have nether hubs, or really do anything you want at the bottom of the nether, just like you can at the very top of the nether. On Java, oh my god, is it a completely different story? It's actually hell on Java Edition. Just look at this. There is lava ravines, lava caves, lava oceans, everything going down straight to bedrock. There's not a thing to worry about on Bedrock Edition. It's netherrack all the way down. On Java Edition, you can just place beds like free floating in mid-air. This is actually so convenient when you're doing things with villagers or honestly just trying to sleep off the side of a cliff. Now, grindstones and the little flower pots actually do not need any support blocks either. As you can see, we can break those out and these guys stay free floating. As you can see, I cannot place a bed anywhere I want. I have to place blocks underneath it and then put in the bed and then remove the blocks. Super annoying when building iron farms or whatever. And then if you want to do grindstones or pots, break out the block, both of them pop off. Something that's really annoying about Java coming from Bedrock is the mob breeding has a 5-minute cooldown. Whether it's sheeps or villagers, you can only get 1 new offspring every 5 minutes, where on Bedrock Edition, the cooldown is 1 minute. It's literally 5 times faster, so it's just a lot quicker to get set up and a lot quicker to do things. I'm probably going to get some hate for saying this, but on Java Edition, you can not waterlog doors, meaning that if you put down a door underwater, you just have a nice little spot to like breathe and regenerate your air bubbles. However, Update Aquatic came out literally in 2018. That was 7 years ago, by the way. And doors have not been able to be waterlogged on Java since then, but they're completely waterloggable on Bedrock, meaning that this trick just does not work at all on Bedrock. Yeah, this is super convenient, but like either add it to Bedrock Edition or finally remove it from Java. What are we doing? And by the way, we have a vanilla replacement for this. It's called bubble columns with the magma block. Not even a problem. Something really cool on Bedrock Edition is that you can just like straight up do in Survival Minecraft is actually get custom colored names on anything that you want in an anvil, or you can even use these in chat as well. So if you just type in your little section sign and then a number to, you know, signify the color, then you can start having colored text in chat. So then you can do cool things like this, and it's actually really convenient. Now, I looked it up, and maybe there's some ways to do it on Java Edition with like the JSON files and the data packs and the fancy blah, 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 blah. But Bedrock Edition just has an easy way to do it using the little stacked S symbol. This is genuinely frustrating coming from Bedrock Edition, but on Java, it is so much more difficult to get guys into boats and minecarts. So we can push this minecart into the guy right here, and he just is like not gonna get into it. On Java, the minecart basically has to be moving at like a pretty considerable speed to actually get the guy in there. Same thing if you like push the villager into the minecart or something. You can see he's literally standing inside of it, but he will not get into the minecart. Now on Bedrock Edition, if a mob even touches the minecart in any way, they're gonna get into the minecart. So if we just like push this guy into there, I can see, boom, he just gets in there. We can just like slightly nudge a guy and he'll just like get into the minecart. And it just works instantly, easily, every single time. Now this also applies to boats on Bedrock Edition. It's just genuinely easy to get everything into a boat. If they touch it, they get into it. On Java, I've seen things, you know, walk up to it, walk over it, and then off of the other side and not even get into the boat. Now this is something I've never seen on Bedrock Edition, but if you are pillaring up with a boat and you got some mobs in there, then you can actually suffocate the mobs in your boat. That's never happened to me one time on Bedrock Edition. Something I've noticed about Java is that the item physics are a little bit crazy. So if we just place a bunch of blocks here and then strip them and mine them, as you see, our items are flying like pretty far away. So look at the spread on these items. They go up to 5 blocks away. Now on Bedrock Edition, it's much more subdued, so if we just mine this thing as fast as we can, as you see, all those items basically stay within like 1, maybe 2 blocks of it. Kind of a side point here, but a subtle flex. Bedrock Edition can actually instant mine logs as long as you have haste too. Honestly, it's super convenient. Bring it to Java Edition. They deserve it. Now, items also glitch out if you like have them inside of a boat, and they just look really weird. I don't know what it is about Java item physics. I kind of expected them to be better. Jank is kind of like the style of Bedrock, but honestly, I think Bedrock just does it better. Something that just does not happen on Bedrock Edition is mobs being able to push you around. As you can see, if we jump into the sheep pen here, it's very hard to actually move around because they're all colliding into me and pushing me around. Nothing on Bedrock Edition pushes you around because you're not a pushover. Now, we all know that Java Edition has better offhands than Bedrock Edition, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the shortcomings of the Java offhand. So if you have a shield in your offhand, you will not actually be able to scrape or unoxidize any form of copper. You have to take the shield out of your hand, and then you can do it just fine. Which, of course, doesn't happen on Bedrock Edition because Bedrock is just completely missing this feature. Something cool that Java does is buttons are actually directional. On Bedrock Edition, no matter which way you are facing, they're always going to line up in the same way, just like this. So on Java, depending on which way you're facing, that'll just change the direction that the button is placed. It's a small thing, but little details like this add up. It's a small one, but flaming arrows on Bedrock are just objectively worse in every way. Look at that. They stop being on fire even. Flaming arrows on Java are amazing. Look at these things. They are so on fire, and they stay on fire until they despawn. Bedrock Edition is being held down by the oppression of bad flaming arrows. That's really what it is, guys. This one parity feature would go a long way. The small parity issues really do stack up, though. Like on Java, you can drop into a composter even when it's completely full of compost. And on Bedrock Edition, you can actually stand on top of the compost. So if you are trying to get inside of this thing, it's just not going to work. You have to have an empty composter. Now, you can fill up the composter while you're standing in it, and then, of course, then you would be inside of it. But now you're actually, like, stuck crouching if you decide to crouch, because that's another Bedrock thing that just, like, happens. Java has far superior item frames and paintings. They're entities or something like that on Java Edition, meaning that all the things I'm about to show you are just really cool and possible, but none of these you can do on Bedrock. So you can have like item frames behind torches and tripwires and levers and pretty much anything you want. Then you can even put things inside of those item frames for like extra little bits of detail and decoration. Same thing goes for the paintings here. You can even have paintings like behind cobwebs and other really weird things for just so much extra added decoration. And then you can even have like a painting wall right here where they're like behind a layer of glass panes, and that's because these are actually on top of some trapdoors, and then the panes don't like connect to anything, so they don't pop off the paintings. And it just looks really nice. Like there's so many different things that you can do with the Java paintings and item frames. It's just not even funny. Bedrock Edition has been absolutely robbed in every way. I mean, it took us years to even get the ability to put the item frames on the ground, but now if you try to put them on the wall on the same block, it just does not work. It's impossible. You can't stack them up. And if you try to like stack up the paintings behind a torch or something basic, it's gonna pretend like it's placing it. It's gonna make the sound, but it just doesn't. Something that Bedrock does way better than Java is easy access to coordinates. They're just always there in the upper left. It's super convenient and I love it. However, it should be like personally adjustable. Like I should be able to turn off my own coordinates. Currently it's just like a world setting, so it's all or nothing for everybody. Java does fix this, so it's per player with the F3 screen, but look at this F3 screen. Oh my god, there's too many things and it's annoying. Sure, the coordinates are just like right there, but like there's just too much information, too much data, and they are fixing this in like a future version where you can toggle what parts of the F3 screen you want to always show and all that stuff. So that's really cool. Java is actually about to completely fix this and end up being better than Bedrock yet again. I'm not even going to touch on the fact that Bedrock Edition just doesn't have any F3 screen at all. We should all be able to agree on this. Bedrock has objectively better written books. So look at this. You open it up, it's got 2 entire pages. It's got a little pencil down here with a bunch of different options. You can either add in another page. You can move this page to the right. So if we type in some stuff there, and see it gets moved forwards, or we can entirely delete that page or even move it to the left. There is like legitimately good features with this book. If you go to Java Edition, as you can see, the book is just 1 page. They're only using one side of the page. There's an entire other side they could be writing on. Now, if you press escape to actually leave the book, it does lose your data. So you have to actually press the done button. And that's pretty much it. There's no other features with this. You can't move around pages or delete pages or add new ones. And even if you put this inside of a lectern, you can see that the book is physically opened. There is 2 pages. There's clearly 2 pages right there. If it's still 1 page when you open it, it's still just bad. Now, Java does have a feature that Bedrock doesn't here. There's actually a button for take the book. On Bedrock, you have to like actually punch the thing. Java just has an entirely different type of UI element that Bedrock completely lacks. So if you look at the hotbar there, you can see that my shield is actually off to the left of the hotbar, indicating that it's in the offhand. We have an extra slot down there, and that shows whatever is in your offhand. Bedrock Edition just straight up does not have that at all. Now, sadly, this is only there for the hotbar. If you open up a chest or something, there is no additional slot telling you what is in your offhand, which I think would be really convenient. And honestly, why isn't it there? Same goes for like the crafting interface. There is no additional slot for showing you what is in your offhand, and this makes getting items out of your offhand kind of annoying, because then you got to go actually into the inventory. My entire inventory is full of something right now. Can you tell what it is? It's the light gray stained glass panes, and yeah, there was actually 35 of them. Now on Java Edition, glass panes actually take up the entire slot of the inventory. It's like a big old square, meaning that you can hide these ones in your inventory. This also means that you can use them to like kind of block out inventory slots. And on Bedrock Edition, well, they just look like a glass pane. You can't do anything fun with them. You can't lose them in your inventory, but it's different on both platforms, so they need to pick a side and make it the same on both. This Bedrock feature honestly makes no sense. So when you have a potion effect of any kind, as you can see, you're going to get the particles, of course, and in the upper right, you have your icon telling you that there's a potion effect. But if you open up your inventory, there's no indication of what your potion effect is, and your potion effects are actually in an entirely different menu. If you press Z on a computer, that brings up this gigantic screen that's way too large, and it shows you your potion effects here with your countdown timer. Did you even know that there's a potion effects screen? Because most people don't. Now, if you go over to Java Edition and you get a potion effect, everything is the same with the particles and the icon in the upper right. But if you open up your inventory, there you can see that you have the effect and how long it's lasting. And it's even there if you open up the crafting book, but it gets compacted down a little bit. So you hover over it and that shows you the timer. There's no weird second menu with its own dedicated hotkey to show you your potion effects, because who thinks of something like that? Something that's really nice about Java that Bedrock just does not have is the furnace crafting book. So you have a little book right here on the left. You click that and then it shows you everything that you can use in that furnace. So smokers only have the meats, the blast furnaces only have the ores and whatnot, and yes, you can smelt down diamonds. And the regular furnaces that just have absolutely everything. This is actually really nice for new players and just accessibility in general, because sometimes you forget why there's 3 different furnaces. But on Bedrock Edition, there is no recipe book, so if you're trying to smelt something that doesn't work in this furnace, then you're going to be really confused. This might give me some hate, but I'm going to say it. Java Edition has a pretty bad crafting interface. So if you have a number of materials in your inventory, as you can see, it shows you what is available to craft, but you'll notice that there's actually tabs down at the bottom, and you have to click between these tabs with your actual mouse in order to like find the material that you're looking for, or you can simply go ahead and search it up here, but that requires you to like actually type and like move your fingers. Now on Bedrock Edition, everything is just within one menu, so as you can see, there is a lot of different stuff in here, but you can simply scroll down and find everything that you need. There's no tabs, there's no going back and forth, and it's actually a lot faster because you can just use the scroll wheel anywhere in this inventory instead of moving down to the bottom and having to click on those little tabs there. But the inventory is also wider, so it's 7 items wide and it's about 7 items tall as well. Whereas on Java Edition, it's literally a 5x4 grid. So there's just more information on screen and it's easier to actually find the item that you're looking for because of that. Bedrock Edition also has a really nice feature where you can simply like right click to craft, so you don't need to like click on it and go up here and then drag one out of it. You can simply right click, and this makes crafting so much faster and so much easier. You can also just like shift left click to craft an entire stack of something at one time. So we just got an entire stack of cobblestone walls. Now if you try this on Java Edition, so you right click on something, it doesn't do anything, of course, besides it making a sound for some reason. You have to left click on it, go up here, grab the item, or you can shift left click on something and that'll put all the materials in the inventory, and then you can like shift left click on it again to get a bunch of them that way. So it's really just like adding extra steps for no reason. Honestly, the Bedrock crafting interface is a lot better. Java also does this kind of silly thing where it alternates crafting materials. So there's a plank crafting recipe right here, but you'll see that it alternates between dark oak and then spruce, and then you can right click on it to open the one that you want. So many times I've accidentally made the wrong material because it swaps back and forth. So if you have several different types of planks in your inventory, as you can see, all of these things are alternating and swapping. Something we should all be able to agree on is that the stonecutter on Java Edition is kind of lame and it needs an entire UI overhaul, because if you put in some deep slate right here, I can see it only shows you a 4x3 of items that you can craft, but there is so many more things in here and you need to use like the little scroll bar or your scroll wheel to actually see them all. Now if you're just using like cobblestone or something, it's not really an issue. If we compare it to the UI of the Stonecutter on Bedrock Edition, this one shows you absolutely everything in a full inventory screen here on the left side, kind of like you would expect from the crafting table or the furnace or something like that. I much prefer this UI for the Stonecutter. I think this is genuinely better and it's just more convenient. Now, if we want to complain about actual Minecraft mechanics, I think as soon as you open up the Stonecutter, it should show you all of the available recipes for everything that's in your inventory, and just like the crafting table. Why do we have to actually like pick up the stack and put it into the slot? Shouldn't it just like show us what's available? The loom on Java Edition is so bad that I actually feel sad for it, because compared to Bedrock Edition, this UI and this interface could use so much work. So look at how many banner patterns there are in here. It shows you a 4x4 grid of patterns, and then you have to scroll down to see all of them. And if you're not good at banners like me, then it's going to take you forever to actually find the one that you want. If we check out the Bedrock Loom, this one is immediately so much nicer in every way. It shows you all the available banner patterns in one spot, even the ones that require a actual banner pattern. So if we click on that, it just automatically puts it in there, which is great. Honestly, the entire UI just looks, feels, and plays so much nicer on Bedrock Edition. Structure blocks on Java Edition are usable, but compared to Bedrock, oh my god, are they slacking so bad. So the UI of these things is just kind of really bad. So look at this and tell me how to change the mode of this. And then you have to click the load button to change what mode it's on right here. And then you have to give the structure a size in all 3 of the axes. And then finally, if you click done on that, it's going to give you the actual like outline of this thing so that you can try and get your build inside of this structure so that you can actually save it. It's kind of a hassle. Now, if we go over to Bedrock Edition, structure blocks right out of the gate show the bounding box, and look at this, they have a little bit of a preview actually showcasing what you are trying to save. You can easily adjust the values to adjust the size of your bounding box. The little viewer itself is genuinely a great feature that makes actually saving your structures super easy, because now I can quickly trim down this area to just the size that I need to only save this one specific build. The Bedrock structure blocks are genuinely just better than Java. I would also say that the Bedrock command blocks are easier. It takes that same basic interface and it just makes it like quick and easy to understand without much effort, really. Command blocks I'm less worried about, but structure blocks compared to Bedrock, they're so bad.